to interview ladies that have left the Hebrew Israelite movement and have just returned to a relationship with Christ. So if that's you, direct message me and let me know that you would like to share a testimony. Maybe we can call or set up some type of conversation, and then we can kind of move forward from there. But I want to interview someone because this movement is really picking up. And I think there's a lot of women that are kind of getting dragged into this. And so, yeah, thanks.
And some of
I used to be in an occult, and God saved me. What was that? Oh, what occult was that? I used to be a black Hebrew Israelite. I made bold claims that salvation was only for black people, and that I had to follow the entire law of Moses. Around with my head covered with a scarf, maybe like 3 different scarves at one time. Oh, and I denied the Trinity. I used to be in an occult, and God saved me.
Rooted in the truth, or have people sent by God truly rooted in the truth, then the devil, he can come in and lead you astray. And I say that because I was one. Like, I started my journey with Christ, and you know, I was doing my thing in the world, and I just came to the end of myself and started to see God. But in that, here comes the enemy. Saw that as an opportunity to scoop me up, and I got involved in some false teaching. For 7 years of my life, I was in I don't know if you ever heard of what's called Hebrew Israelism. I was in that for 7 years of my life, and by the grace of God, the Lord brought me out of that. But it came through me actually reading the Word of God versus, you know, when I was early in my walk, I would take things verbatim of what somebody else was saying to me, and kind of interpreted scriptures verses which were truth, but they were truth out of context. See, the devil, he knows truth. He knows the Bible, but it's always out of context. Just like when he tried to get Jesus to be tempted, and he would use scripture, but he would use scripture out of context. So, you know, the devil, he knows the Bible too. And so I spent 7 years of my life, you know, believing that I could work my way through the laws of Moses, believing I could work my way into Christ, and it just left me unfulfilled for a long time. And I believe, you know, the Lord wants me to share for those who may be in this, you know, they say, well, it's not a religion, it's a bloodline, it's a doctrine, and it's a false doctrine. Believe it, whether they want to believe it or not, it's a doctrine, and it's a false doctrine. And they might come through with some history about who you are and this and that, but the doctrine in itself is false, right? And I remember one day just coming to the end of myself. I forgot what it was, one of these feast days that and I just did a fast, and I was like, Lord, I get emotional because I remember praying, and I was like, Lord, I don't want to be deceived, Lord. I don't want to be deceived. And the Lord, they just began to reveal truth to me, and he began to reveal what it means to walk by his Spirit, and all that Jesus did for us on the cross, and you know, just different things, the law of the Spirit. And when I tell you, it was like my eyes began to open, and for the first time in a long time, you know that scripture where Jesus said, you shall know the truth, and the truth shall set you free. That's how I felt for the first time in a long time. And I was just so grateful for the truth. And when the spirit of truth comes in, then he's going to light up that dark place. You know, the word of God says that those that follow Jesus Christ, when you know Jesus is the way, the truth, and the life.
I want to give all the praises and the honor to Yahawah Bahashim, YAHAWASHI Bahashim Rucha.
Shalom, shalom, Israel. First and foremost, I want to give all honor, glory, and praise unto Yahawah, Bahashem, Yahawashi, Bahashem, Wakwa Kwadash, double honor to the elders and apostles, the great millstone, and shalom to the mighty Akim Wakwathim who are diligently waiting to be delivered from this foul captivity, as well as a speckled bird that may look like the other nations but are actually Yasharallah. This is Brother Kawakab coming at you with another lesson. Today's lesson, we're going to be going into this whole woman thing, because this has been, like, this is always something that keeps on popping back up and is a kind of a reoccurring issue. And the thing is that, you know, it just goes back into what's the word, like just certain people, all right, say for example, like any man is able to, you know, entice a woman into believing and following certain things like feminism, like what's that dude's name, Young Pharaoh's Black Woman is God thing, to make a woman feel like, oh yeah, this is the right way, oh yeah, I feel this, I feel spiritually in tune with this, and all this type of stuff, where these are the types of things that contribute to greater many misconceptions and misunderstandings, as well as just ignorance in general. All right, and I also kind of want to point out, because this is the title of this video is another thing, because this is a very important thing to remember, that you can't force anyone. Let me get that, as a matter of fact. I put salivation. Philippians chapter 2 verse 12, just to get this out the way quickly. Wherefore, my beloved, as ye have always obeyed, not as in my presence only, but now much more in my absence, work out your own salvation with fear and trembling. Basically, the importance of focusing on, okay, yes, I need to do this. Yes, I need to follow YAHAWAH, because this is what YAHAWAH, and it's like, it's the exact same thing as with a child. A good child is going to say, okay, my father or mother told me not to go eating cookies while they're not here, so I'm not going to touch the cookie jar or whatever, and stuff like that. Like, that's the type of thing that we're supposed to be in the mindset of, where the Lord told us, hey, don't touch a cookie jar, don't do this, don't do that while I'm not there. All right, or wait until I'm there, and then I'll give you some cookie jars, and then you go over there, get some cookie jars, and you freaking drop the cookie jar and you break the thing, and now there's a whole bunch of glass on the floor or whatever type stuff, where you're putting yourself in danger, you're ruining your thing, you're ruining your relationship with your parent, metaphoric or literal or whatever in this example, for things to go badly. All right, so that's where that's where we come in. That's where we come in, all right, where for what we're doing, we are trying to just maintain that, okay, you know what, these are all the templates for all the stuff that you have to do, as well as even for people in our families or in our inner circles. We leave the templates out. We guide people should they accept the guidance, but you don't explicitly force them or order them around saying, you have to go do this, you have to go do that, and whatnot. Like, and that's the thing, where you might have some parents in this truth, all right, quote unquote parents, I say parents in this truth, that may tell you what to do and whatnot, but it's not necessarily for you to really just be locked in and say, like, okay, well, I'm going to follow through with it. Well, you can follow through per someone, sure, because, you know, sometimes people do need guidance. Or the flip side is that, you know, you kind of just grow on your own. And that's basically the thing that we're supposed to be doing. We're supposed to be allowing people to grow on our own and not necessarily. And, that's something that I had to learn myself, because initially there were people that I had thought, what, I'm going to force them to this X, Y, and Z, blah, blah. But then, after I think a year or something, I was like, okay, you know what? I see that and this is just something for in life in general, where say for example, if you have kids, if you have a daughter, okay, and you don't want your daughter to go sleeping around like a whore and whatnot, as much as it pains me to say, I don't really think there's anything that you could really do. I'm not saying go let your daughter be a whore. All right, I'm definitely not saying that, but it's sometimes it's just there are certain things you just cannot stop, and it's as much as you want to stop it, as much as you want things to go right, you have to just it's you can't control people. You can't control people because that is a lot that the Lord put for someone. So it's only okay, well, fuck, I can only accept it. I just have to accept it, even though that breaks my heart. And honestly, I'll admit that it breaks my heart, to hear that type of stuff. All right, I know I would not want my daughter to be doing that type of stuff. So it's anyway, continuing on, but yeah. So you have this Eve. Potentially, honestly, I'm not gonna lie. She kind of looks like a Hamite, but you have this woman who's basically saying that she was forced or whatever. She felt forced and whatnot, or she felt like she was in a cult. She felt like all the stuff that she was being taught was wrong and whatnot, and she didn't want to do it. Okay, she didn't want to do it, but she didn't have a choice. And again, as I said before, we can't be doing this because when you force something on people, you create resentment. All right, and I think that if anything, now this is not definitive, but from what I've seen, I kind of feel I believe, speaking as a man, that it's more for relationship with your children. I think that's takes priority in terms of what said child is willing to go along with. When you as a father or a mother, are very invested, very loving, and very and treat said child very well, they voluntarily go after and follow after the things that you teach them. Okay, you when you have that good, nice, proper relationship with them, then it's okay, well, I want to make father proud, I want to make mother proud, or whatever, and stuff like that. So that it's kind of inherent. All right, but then when because having a dysfunctional family, all right, having a dysfunctional family is oftentimes what leads to that rebellion and that disconnect. All right, because that is a very common thing. But continuing on, Ecclesiastes 7 verse 28, which yet my soul seeketh, but I find not. One man among 1,000 have I found, but a woman among all those have I not found. And basically the thing is that, number one, it is hard to find righteous. It's hard to find let me just get the context actually. Verse 29, lo, this only have I found, that Yahweh hath made man upright, but they have sought out many inventions. Basically, the Lord does make men upright, but it is ever so rare to find that one good man, or ever so rare to find that one proper good, woman, because women are oftentimes easily corrupted. Just think of Eve. All right, Eve followed after the serpent, and she got us into that whole. She got Adam into that terrible situation. All right, So yeah, these are. Let me get this better yet.
reveals God's specific instructions to his faithful servant. Then the word of the
1 Peter chapter 3 verse 7. Likewise, ye husbands, dwell with them according to a knowledge, giving honor unto the wife as unto the weaker vessel, and as being heirs together of the grace of life, that your prayers be not hindered. Basically, that the woman is the weaker vessel. The woman is easier to manipulate. The woman is easier to get to follow along with your inventions, your schemes, your plans, and stuff like that. All right, compared to the man. Obviously, I'm not saying that the man is not easy to manipulate. Obviously, that's not the case. But when it comes to certain relationship dynamics, what's woman known for? If you don't do this with me, all right, if you don't do this with me, I'm going to keep sex from you. I'm not gonna give you any. I'm not gonna do this or whatever. All right. As a matter of fact, this reminds me of this one video I was gonna make a lesson for here. Might as well put it here. So let's get this. You'll see.
人の好きなところとかってありますか？
黒人かっこいい。
どういうところ？
なんかルーツとか文化大事にしてるところもそうだけど、普通に見た目かっこいい。見た目かっこいい。かっこいいよね。ドタイプ。
それは顔、ファッション。
顔もファッションも髪型も。
もう全部。
全部。海外から来てるもんね、全部。全部。
黒人の方とかも付き合いたいです。機会があれば。
Of course. Of course. Of course.
はい。
So yeah, that's where you have this where this might seem nice. All right, it's nice to be appreciated at times, but sometimes it's women like these that potentially can, all right, potentially, because again, there's a lot of different factors that go into it, but I'm not going to get into that. But the thing is that women like this can be, complicated, because they have certain traditions. Because I remember listening to hearing about something like this before, like years ago. There was this one American person that said, when it came to my Japanese wife, when I married this woman in Japan, my idea of Christmas was spending time with the entire extended family, and she said that Christmas in Japan is more about just the two of us, like we have to spend time together and whatnot. It's not for other family members and whatnot. So that was basically a thing where over here where with this you have these women that will, like an example is Japanese women that will be saying like stuff like, okay, well, I need you to do this with me. You need to do this. Come doing this with me and whatnot. Come do this with me and whatnot. And if you don't, then I don't want to have sex with you or whatever. And on top of that, they were also saying that Japanese women, I forgot. It was Japanese women. I think they said they don't even like having sex unless it's to have kids. So yeah, there's just a bunch of stuff that goes on in that. Obviously, that's this may be an exaggeration. Okay, so I'm not necessarily putting all Japanese women in one box, but just in general, this is an example I'm trying to point out from the experiences that I've heard from other people, where people have been saying that this is the reality of certain things, where these culture shocks can lead to a divide in one ethnicity getting together with another ethnicity. All right, so as a result of that, that's why this women thing, the women like these, like say for example, a Japanese woman leading you to follow after Japanese culture rather than Israelite culture, and then okay, well, your wife is saying, I want to go and celebrate Christmas, and you're saying no, Christmas is a pagan holiday, we can't do that, and I don't want my kid. As a matter of fact, there was that one girl that literally talked about that. I think. Let me give me a moment. I want to see if I can find her.
Elijah's remarkable story. God's timing is always perfect. He
I'm gonna spend like 2 seconds and then I'm gonna stop.
finally ran completely dry, and not even a drop remained. Elijah didn't panic or worry about where his next drink of water would come from. Through his months of miraculous provision by ravens and brook water, he had learned to trust God's perfect timing completely and without reservation. Just as the
Bear with me one moment. I'm gonna be almost done. I'm almost done
very dry stone
looking, and then
God spoke to his faithful prophet again with new, surprising instructions for the next phase of his journey. 1 Kings 17:8-9 reveals God's unexpected next step. Then the word of the Lord came to him, saying, "Arise, go to Zarephath, which belongs to Sidon, and
Slocky, almost done. Almost done.
appointed a widow there to provide for you." This divine command was absolutely shocking and surprising.
You know what? It's probably on my other account,
Even Elijah. Verse
so I think I'm gonna have to give up on this.
Zarephath, a small coastal town in Sidon, which was none other than Queen Jezebel's own homeland.
Okay, let me.
Straight into
Okay, whatever. It's fine. We'll just give up on that. Anyway, the thing here is how there was this one. It was a. I think it was an Eve. I'm pretty sure it was an Eve. Yeah, it was an Eve, but she had a so-called Asian mother, a Moabite or Ammonite mother. So as a result of that, she had lived the Israelite lifestyle or whatever when she was growing up, and then she said, okay, well, her father gave up on that, and now she's doing whatever the frick she wants to do and stuff like that. So again, that all further goes to show just that you can't force this on anyone. And when it comes to women, like, they oftentimes will, they might either resent you, or if they don't resent you, then it's just that they'll try to lead you off that thing where it's like, okay, you can deal with a woman, but it's like you can get it. Like, just if you can deal with a woman, but like don't be trying to force it on anyone and stuff like that. All right, like just try to be like, I guess, try to make sure that she stays respectful and stuff like that. All right, and if she doesn't want to listen to you, then it's like, okay, well, like this, that there needs to. That's basically why I think it was Paul that said, I'd rather you not marry at all. All right. And I read this, right? Yes, I read this. So Luke chapter 6 verse 24. But woe unto you that are rich, for ye receive your consolation. So now, as a matter of fact, I saw this out the corner of my eye. There's this video. This is in holy cripes. This is in tandem with what's been going on right now, where a lot of these women are going to be reliant on men right now. And the thing is that, yes, they need a man in general, but they're going to be after this one thing ends, after the this whole food stamp crisis ends, and the next issue comes, because it's the Lord YAHAWAH works in stages where it's just going to get gradually get worse, where instead of just, oh, I just need a man for basic protections, oh, well, now I need a man for the freaking destruction of Babylon. All right, I need to be able to be delivered from that. All right, where this is where we get this. I'm going to keep this here. Isaiah chapter 13 verse 12. I will make a man more precious than fine gold, even a man than the golden wedge of Ophir. All right, so the type of man that they're going to need is a man of the Lord. They're going to need the men that followed after YAHAWAH for deliverance. Okay, because it's not just a matter of, oh yeah, I want this guy, I want to do this or whatever. Like, no, it's a matter of this man is going to be protected by YAHAWAH on top of the fact that he can protect himself generally as what a man can do, because it's quite debatable in terms of like how well you can defend yourself, because some brothers they have guns, some brothers they choose not to have guns. That's a surprise for whoever wants to say it. whoever wants to say it. But yeah, like these are the types of stuff that you are going to be what's the word, aware of. All right, so not aware of, but these are the types of men that you want to associate yourself with. Which I even then I saw this one brother who made a video basically saying, women, if you are a sister, you need to get yourself a man right now. When he said get yourself a man, he meant specifically one of the men of the Lord. All right, and you know that was a good live stream. That was a good live stream because the reality of it is that, yeah, like if you are a woman by yourself, like it is not going to be very safe or a good time. There was this one news video that I saw recently where during October, literally like last week or something, this one woman that was living by herself, she was being harassed by a bunch of early trick-or-treaters where they were threatening to kill her, threatening to break down her door, banging on the stuff, destroyed her property on her house. All right, and then if she had a man, then the man would have gone and just like, okay, what, get the fuck off my property, or else I'm gonna do something to you. All right, to whoever the thing was. I don't remember if they were actual adults. I think they were adults. Maybe they were adults. Maybe they were teenagers. Whatever. I don't remember. But that's another thing where these teenagers are getting more bold and getting more demonic, where they do not care about the type of stuff that they do. They are full-fledged demons. All right, they're full-fledged demons, basically being reckless, basically being destructive and whatnot. They don't care about the future. They're willing to just throw things all away. All right, so that's Slakia for so much talking. Let's actually get into this video.
11:30 p.m. I'm single. I'm at the grocery store. Who else does this? Like, I feel like we need a club. Like, hey, I'm single. I'm at the grocery store. Hi, how you doing? Can you help me reach that bag that's right in front of me? What do I say? What do you guys do? Do you guys... I really feel like I'm going to meet my man at the grocery store, and it's just not happening. I look at rings. I look for rings now, so we have that covered. But I'm...
Who the fuck is we? Like, genuinely, who's we? What is she talking about? And also, 46, this is that desperation time, okay? Slakia.
Not meeting anyone at the grocery store. And I love grocery shopping. I do. I enjoy it. I think it's peaceful. I like comparing prices. I love all that. But I know men typically do not like the grocery store. So let me know. Do you look for single? Do you guys look for singles at the grocery store? I'm interested to hear your comments.
Hey y'all, it's day 3 of me trying to find my future husband. But today we are in Home Depot and this is the outfit.
But let's continue.
Are you my future husband?
I don't know if I want to get married right now.
Oh, he don't want to get married right now. Okay,
so
I'm
married right now anyway.
Oh, it's okay. I'm gonna find my next one. It's okay. Don't worry. All right, guys. So. Okay, thank you. Ocean. Yep. Yeah. Okay, y'all. So the girl I met, she told me to check another location because that's where they have all the great material people at. So we're gonna go there tomorrow. So stay tuned, guys. It's day 2 of me trying to find my future husband, but today we're at Lowe's. Okay, y'all, I just met somebody. He said that he could build a bookshop for me, so maybe this hack really worked. But I couldn't record because it happened too fast. Y'all definitely come to Lowe's. They got them at Lowe's. Hey guys, today is day 4 of me trying to find my future husband, and we are at Lowe's. And I'm wearing this cute little dress, so... Yes, I'm just looking for my future husband. They said that, I could find him at Lowe's, so yeah. Some guy just asked me if I was married, and I said, no, I'm looking for my future husband. He was like, oh, I'm right here, but you're gonna have to share me with my wife. What the hell do I look like sharing somebody? Hell no. I'm going back to Home Depot.
Big head, yeah.
That was actually pretty funny, I'm not gonna lie. Slakia.
It's me. I know. I said I ain't never call you again, but Trump done cut my benefits and rent due in 2 days. I messed up, baby. I see you now. You wasn't controlling. You was leading. You told me get a job and stack up. I laughed. Now Section 8 ghosted me like I did you. I'll submit now, baby. I'll cook, I'll clean. I'll even get up and go to work. For real this time. You can have my whole check. Just let me come move in with you. I don't even like being independent no more. I'm tired of paying bills by myself. I thought I wanted to be a boss chick, but the boss life expensive. I'm sorry for not listening when you was with me. You was right. I was the problem. You was trying to build, and I was trying to...
This is the book of 2nd Esdras, chapter 14, starting off in verse 16. For yet...
So yeah, like this is what's going on. I'm surprised. I wasn't even planning on getting this video or this video. I just was more focused on this. But you know, that's the thing where, you know, that's a spirit where I made it into two lessons in one. Where number one, you know, we're not supposed to force people. And if a woman, as a matter of fact, where's that thing? Where is it? It says, please. Here, 1 Corinthians chapter 7, verse 13, and the woman which hath a husband that believeth not, and if he be pleased to dwell with her, let her not leave him. Basically, if you have a woman, like say for example, one of these women, like any of these women, or whatever, even one of these chicks and stuff like that, that have these types of mindsets that might not correspond with, you know, the truth or whatever, you know, it's fine to still be with them. But that's the thing, like if they're going to you say, you know what, yeah, I still love you, I still want to stay with you, I still want to do this, that, and there, whatever, then of course stay with them, you know, because you're going to force them to commit adultery if you leave them and whatnot. But the thing is that if they're just choosing to be a hindrance, okay, in your life as a whole, where's that other one?
Elijah proposed a public contest that would settle the question once and for all. 1 Kings 18:19 records his dramatic challenge. Now, therefore, send and gather all Israel to me on Mount Carmel, the 450 prophets of Baal,
I pray that this is it.
prophets of Asherah, who eat at Jezebel's table. This wasn't going to be a private religious debate. Elijah wanted all of Israel to witness this showdown.
No, it's not it.
Carmel was the perfect location, a high mountain where everyone could see what happened. When the people gathered, Elijah addressed them with words that cut straight to the heart.
Let me see if it's...
Verse 21 captures his powerful challenge. And Elijah came to all the people and said, how long will you falter between two opinions? If the Lord is God, follow him.
Oh, over here it's verse 15. But if the unbelieving depart, let him depart. A brother or a sister is not under bondage in such cases, but Yahweh hath called us to peace. Yeah, here, this is it. Basically, if you're trying to tell them, hey, I need you to stop, I need you to pay attention, listen to me, follow me in this, that, and third, and they say, okay, what? No, forget this. I don't care about this Israelite stuff. I'm not gonna deal with you. I'm going to leave. I want to leave and whatnot. And then they leave you. Then okay, you know what? That's fine. You know, you cannot do anything about it. All right, that's basically it. That's if they aren't Israelites. All right, if they're, this is in the case of an unbelieving spouse. All right. So yeah, continuing on. Let's go. I read this. I read this too. So yeah, basically the men that are rich now, they can't get them, but the men that are, you know, carnally doing good for themselves, they're going to be that, they might be a temporary fix, but you know, they're not going to be long-term fix, which that's where it's going to be where the women are going to eventually be looking for the men of the Lord, because oh my God, all this prophecy that the Israelites were saying, let me go to these Israelites and whatnot, stuff like that. All right, so let me get this. Isaiah chapter 65, verse 13. Therefore, thus saith the Lord Yahweh, behold, my servant shall eat, but ye shall be hungry. Behold, my servant shall drink, but ye shall be thirsty. Behold, my servant shall rejoice, but ye shall be ashamed. That's basically major lesson takeaway. All right, where for those that are in the know, for the brothers that are in this truth, more specifically, you know, if you aren't if you you might not have that special someone or special someone's. All right, different for each brother. I'm not promoting polygyny presently, but if that's what you want to do, okay, fine. I can't tell you what to do, but I can advise you that that's probably not the best thing, especially if you're not loaded, okay? Because it's very, very rare to be rich and in this truth. I'm pretty sure. If not, it doesn't exist at all. But continuing on, where is this? Where was I at? Oh yeah, so with Isaiah 65 verse 13, so initially we're going to be going through some hard times and stuff like that, but for the transition will be that, okay, we're going through these hard times, but we as Israelites, okay, as followers of YAHAWASHI, we're not going to have to be dealing with this type of stuff, because we're going to be enjoying things being easier for us, okay, because the Lord's going to provide for us. The Lord's going to give us the things, give us our necessities, give us our necessities, give us our whatever, our needs and desires and stuff like that, as more and more prophecies come to pass. All right, now finally, Isaiah 4:1, and that day 7 women shall take hold of one man, saying, we will eat our own bread and wear our own apparel, only lest be called by thy name, to take away our reproach. And that's the thing where women will be looking to men for protection, be it just under the association and under the association of men of the Lord being protected by Yahawadah, or the man being able to protect from certain troubles and stuff like that in general. So with that, I pray this is most edifying. I'm going to give all honor, glory, and praise unto YAHAWAH, BaHashem, YAHAWASHI, BaHashem, Ruach, Badash, double honor to the elders and apostles, great meal, son of Adbal, and Shalom.